Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to our continuing adventure here in Seattle, the Emerald City. Although we got some comments that says nobody calls it that anymore.
Yeah, we're old-fashioned.
That's right. But I think the beautiful trees and hills, it really is gorgeous. You can look at it from the greenery around Seattle as the Emerald City. But today, continue with us as we master the public transportation system here. The buses and the trains sure makes it a lot easier to get around. We'll show you how to do that. We also are going to dive beneath those streets and show you the long forgotten tunnels and catacombs under Seattle from many years ago, and we're going to explore those and have a great tour and share that. Then we hop aboard the Seattle Monorail. Monorail.
You like to say that. Every time we go to Disney, you always say that.
Por favor, mantengo Seattle.
Oh, stop.
That's right. So we ride the Seattle Monorail, and we have some excellent tips for you so that you can make the best of your monorail ride. And then we hop aboard a tall sailing ship and take a sunset cruise around the harbor and get some beautiful views of the city in the evening.
But that's not all, friends. We're going to go to Pike Place Market, where we take a tour that's a chef-led tour, and we get to try some incredible delicacies from little hidden gems throughout the market. It was so good. And of course, speaking of food, no video is complete without Mike trying a hot dog. So we're going to try the famous and unusual Seattle hot dog. I did not know they served hot dogs like this. This was the first time. So you're going to see Mike try that.
Yeah. And we're going to, at the end of the video, going to wrap up with probably the biggest issue we had in Seattle, the one major problem that we found as we were touring here in the city. We're going to show you what happened and also how you can help to avoid it to make your trip to Seattle the best it can be.
All right, so welcome to Living Phase 2.
Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Nancy, and we're empty nesters striving to live life to the fullest. And today, friends, we are going to begin on day 2 with breakfast at the hotel.
Well, it's day 2 here in Seattle, and breakfast is included with our hotel, so we're going to head down and check it out.
Oh, thank you.
Well, how's the Arctic Club breakfast?
It's good. It's good. They had nice, look at that pretty fruit. And you get good coffee.
Well, it is Seattle.
That means a lot.
So we found that there's a lot of hills in Seattle. So we want to get the public transportation card called the Orca card here in Seattle. And one of the places to do it is at a train station. So we're right here in front of Pioneer Square, which is actually across the street from our hotel. It's right there. So we're going to go down and see what it takes to get an Orca card. So we're down in it's kind of a neat looking station.
Yeah. There's Orca tickets right here.
Happens tickets for today. So you can get all day tickets, round trip all day in Malta. So let's look here first and see. Okay, so then we want to add a card, add a pass, a day pass. There we go.
So
two new cards, $18. Both should be an all day pass, right? Okay. So let's hit pay, credit card, right? Okay. All right. Here's our 2 cards. So these should be all day cards. All right, so there's the 2 cards.
Okay.
And we'll see how it works. Hey, so we're going to see the Beneath the Streets Underground History of Seattle tour. We've heard this is really good. Let's go down and see what it's about. All checked in and got our tickets. So they have a little museum here while you're waiting. They do ask you to keep your voice down because the initial presentation happens right over here.
I'm guessing a lot of this are things they found underground or found after the fire.
You're okay with the camera?
Yeah,
Okay.
You can hold 4 times its weight. They cover the arches, those became the sidewalks. They bridged the gap from the streets to the buildings.
Well, we just finished up the Beneath the Streets tour. There's 2 companies actually here in Seattle that do a similar tour where they take you down into the, let's just say, quote unquote, underground. Really what it is, it's the lower levels of the city that were there when they rebuilt the city after the Great Fire, and then with all the flooding, they were trying to prevent it. So they basically raised the streets. You can almost think about it like Disney World, where you have the utilidor tunnels under, and really Seattle's built on the 2nd floor, and that's what we got to do, was go down underneath some of these buildings in the gaps between the road and the buildings. And those gaps are still there, and they're used for different things like storage and all that.
Well, the guy was really fascinating. He was a great storyteller, and so I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I really did too. I can't really recommend it enough. Our tour was supposed to be an hour and ended up being about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
The tour guide had a good sense of humor, great grasp of history, explained everything really well. I really enjoyed it. Now, as we said, this was one of 2 companies that do it. The one we did was Beneath the Streets. Now, they actually kind of broke off from the original one, which is Seattle Underground, I believe. You're probably okay going to either one. I've heard good things about both, but certainly Beneath the Streets was great. I would check them out. The tour was about $29 a person, and I think it was absolutely worth that.
On that part.
That seems so unusual to me to have cream cheese on a hot dog.
This sounds so unusual.
And
Yeah.
do people usually top it with mustard or anything, or just eat it that way?
Usually I've seen they just eat it fresh. Like they
Okay,
eat
just
like
eat it
this.
like this. Okay.
But also I have seen some people like do mayo on that.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay.
that's like
Thank you.
sweet. So I hope you like it.
We'll give it a try
Yeah.
here. Okay, so Mike is getting the true Seattle dog with cream cheese and grilled onions. And I got my hot dog the way I like it, with ketchup, mustard, and onion. All right, Mike, give it a try. Let's see.
Okay, so the Worldwide Hot Dog Challenge continues here. So, like she said, it's got onions and cream cheese, and they split the hot dog when they
Okay.
cook it traditionally.
All right.
So let's give it a shot here.
Did you get, do
Honestly-
you need a second bite here
No.
now that you get more cream cheese?
No, he covered the whole thing. Honestly, it's really good. This is, the onions are done really good. They're crispy. It's got just a touch of cabbage in it. Surprisingly, the cream cheese works with the hot dog. It's a really good beefy hot dog. I mean, I think, honestly, this is like a 9 out of 10.
Really?
I mean, it really is,
Really?
because it's unusual, but
Okay.
it's got a good combination of flavors. Oh, we gotta get our orca card.
Well, we're getting ready to get on the monorail here in Seattle.
Thought we'd give it a try. So all it is a there and back again. It was put in for the World's Fair, and so we're using our orca card. We're gonna go ahead and get on.
Well, we just had our monorail ride.
Yeah, it's a monorail. But, you know, we can say we've rode the Seattle World's Fair monorail from 1962. The monorail used to go 70 miles an hour on that run. I think he said he's limited to 38 miles an hour.
45, yeah.
Yeah, and I can't imagine going 70 miles an hour down that
On that little
straightaway.
bit, yeah.
But it was fun, and now we're right back to the Space Needle, so all we're going to do is turn around and head back to the Westlake area. And,
Yep.
yeah.
Now the monorail, if you have your Orca card, it is an additional $1 because it's kind of a tourist attraction, so you have to load a little money onto your Orca card to cover it.
Yeah, and that's even if you have the day pass, which we just figured this out. But they do let you go a little more than $2 negative, so this will take us $2 negative, and then we'll have to go and stop at an Orca machine and put a little bit of money on to cover our little monorail adventure here. So, but that was fun. So this is the monorail line in front of us, and right behind it is the Amazon campus. That's what we're walking to. Well, when you buy something from Amazon, here's the mothership. We're going to see the Amazon spheres, and we'll let you know what they're like. See where all my Prime money goes.
Really? You just take one?
Yeah.
Hello. Hi. Thank you.
Did you go bananas?
I went bananas. I like bananas.
I know you love bananas.
I didn't realize anybody could just take one.
Yeah, it's an Amazon thing. We found out that during the week, only Amazon employees can go into the spheres, which isn't quite the information I had before. But then the first and third Saturday.
The public can go in.
Yeah, but you have to make reservations.
Right.
Yeah, but this is the visitor center, it's called. We're heading to our sunset cruise.
Here's 66.
Yep. A little hazy out today. Ready for your tall ship sailing?
I am ready. Anytime I can get on a boat, a ship, a cruise, I'm happy. Hey.
Look, Nancy by the bar.
All right, you guys, we're gonna start by raising our big heavy sails. This is the main. So, anybody want to help us with this one? Any volunteers? Come over this way. We need 5 or 6 people working together on this sail. Well done, you guys.
Well, we're on the ship, and
On the boat?
it's, yeah, I guess it would be a boat, because you can put a boat on a ship, but not a ship on a boat.
That's right.
We're on our way out for our sunset cruise. Although
Starboard check.
not a lot of sunset tonight because of the clouds, but it's still going to be beautiful.
We're seeing some of the salmon jump, but it's hard to catch it on video because it happens so quickly.
Fire in the hole!
Surprisingly enough, Seattle seems to close at 8 o'clock. Okay.
It's very quiet now at the piers.
Yeah, so we're looking for a place to get a little dinner. We've tried a couple of fish places, they're already closed, so we're gonna, I've got one on the on my radar here, we're gonna take a look. Hey, Mike here from the editing room. So I'm putting together our second Seattle video here, the day 2 and 3. And we just want to first of all thank everyone for all the comments. People that live in Seattle are very passionate about your city, and we love that. We just really appreciate it. But we wanted to make sure we corrected ourselves. I guess it's pronounced Iveers. The fish place we had in the last video, not Ivars. So we want to let you know we've heard you, and we actually do appreciate all that feedback to make sure we're getting things as correct as possible. Well, back to Seattle, day 2 and 3.
Well, we just finished up our tall sailing ship boat ride. I really enjoyed it. It was kind of a last minute thing we did getting into town.
It was fun. There's a lot of people on it. Actually, they said it was sold out.
Yeah.
But they did a great job. They served a drink on the boat.
Yeah.
And but it was neat to be on a big sailing ship like that.
We didn't have a lot of wind, so they did have to supplement with the engines. I mean, it was like really, and then in fact they had a kind of a wind shear going on, and so they had a little bit of struggle with the sails. I mean, they obviously deployed them, they did all that, but it was nice. We had a little smog, or not smog, smoke from the fires, but you know, it's still pretty, and I really enjoyed it.
Well, we saw salmon jumping, and we saw seals. No whales. I was kind of hoping for that, but we saw a lot of salmon jumping out of the water.
Yeah, yeah. So overall, the tall sailing ship, I'd certainly recommend it if you're coming into Seattle. Yours looks amazing.
It does. This is a prosciutto wrapped salmon. Well, friends, we're going to take a quick break here. I have a favor to ask of you. We are so close to reaching 50,000 subscribers, and I know many of you are watching our content of cruising, of RVing, and you're not yet subscribed.
In fact, YouTube has tattled on you. 68% in our analytics are showing that you haven't subscribed. So there's lots of you that can reach and hit that button.
You know, that would be so much, means so much to us, friends, if we can reach that 50,000. So thank you in advance. When you hit that like button, that also helps push it out to others who may not have met us yet.
Yeah, and it is important to note, you're not going to get spammed. You're not going to get emails or text messages or anything. Subscribing, all it does is let YouTube know you like our content and you would like other people to see it as well. That's really what you're telling YouTube at this point, not to get spammed, and it's completely free. There's no charge for it. So we'd love it if you just reach down, hit that subscribe button, and push us up to that first 50,000 subscribers.
Thanks so much, friends.
All right, day 3 of our Seattle adventure. We're heading over to the Pike Market. This is a must visit for anybody that's here in Seattle.
Yeah, everybody talks about it.
Yeah, so we have a chef's tour. It's supposed to be a small group tour where we can go and tour the market. Well, we headed down into the subway and we reloaded our Orca card for the day. We just put a day pass on it. It's about $2.75 anytime you take a bus, so there's flat fares, so it's not cheap, but the day pass is $6, so 2 bus rides you basically paid for the day pass.
Here you go. You're right here. Well, we had a little bit of time before our tour started, so we decided to go ahead and explore on our own. Now, friends, we are coming back here in just a few days on our Pacific Coast cruise, and we want to bring our friends back to this area, so we're kind of scouting out the area of the market for places to take them.
Those are some pretty good looking blackberries and look how big those raspberries are.
They're huge.
They're as big as my thumb. Bigger. So we made a stop at Metzger's Maps here in the Pike Place Market, public market. This is really neat. I'm gonna get a Pacific Northwest patch. And they've got, if you're interested in maps or anything travel related, this is pretty amazing in here. They even have the milepost that we're using to prepare for our Alaska trip next year. Our tour was led by Chef Eric, and our first stop was the
famous Can Club. Now this is a burlesque club here in Seattle. Now our chef used this as a place where he could set the stage for our tour and get our first taste of food.
Your area that's leaving that walkway open is good.
This is
That
so cool.
long walkway where we came in.
Well, here's where we tried beignets with caramel sauce, and they were so good. We also got a Seattle history lesson here, and we learned more about the Can show. And he made it sound so fun, like it'd be a great place to see a show.
After you guys hang right here for me. Again, feel free to take pictures.
Our next stop was Beecher's Handmade Cheese. This small shop is world famous.
Waiting right here. You will then accept that curd into your hands. Excellent quality on the dairy.
It's a very young cheese.
Excellent quality on the dairy. A little bit of salt.
Okay, you got it?
Well, the first thing we tried was their cheese curd. And it was a good cheese curd. It was kind of squeaky, but sorry, Beechers, I think Wisconsin's got you beat. We had some really good ones there.
But then we tried some of their extra aged cheddars, and they were delicious. They were actually our favorite.
Yeah, I loved those. Now after that, we got their absolutely world famous, it's called the world's best macaroni and cheese, or their mac and cheese. Now, we like the pasta a lot. You loved that. It was absolutely done perfectly. I do think the cheese sauce was just a little thin, had great flavor, but maybe, like I said, just a little thin. But guess what? You don't have to come to Seattle now to try it. Big news alert, you can now get Beecher's mac and cheese at Costco. So take a look at your local Costco.
Now our next stop was Hellenica Cultured Creamery. Just imagine having Greek yogurt and gelato combined. We had the vanilla flavor, and oh, it was very, very good.
Now normally I'm not a frozen yogurt fan. In fact, I'm not a yogurt fan at all in general. But I have to admit, I really did like this. This was something that I would actually come back and seek out and try. So, you know, even if you're not a big yogurt fan, give Hellenica a try. I think you might like it. Next, we paused in front of the original Starbucks, and see that queue snaking around everyone to get in? Note, there's nothing special about this Starbucks. It's like every other one, but it's a pilgrimage site for some people, I guess. But like our guide said, you could throw a rock and hit 5 other coffee places that he thinks are better than Starbucks. This is Seattle.
Now, more importantly, right behind the big queue is Maze Maze. Maze Maze is a wonderful Mexican restaurant that hand makes all of their corn tortillas. Unfortunately, they get a little bit overlooked because of the Starbucks line. But our guide here, he brought us out the chicken tinga taco, and it was delicious. Spicy, it's a corn tortilla. The pickled onion is really good on here. It's got a nice little kick to it. Oh, it smells so good.
Yeah, about 45 minutes from our home is Holland, Michigan.
Oh,
you can imagine.
Yeah. Right, you don't call it Holland because of the cheese.
So the line for Pike Place chowder's here. We're gonna backdoor it. I mean, honestly, this rivals any of the food halls and tour places that we did on the World Cruise.
Yeah. Our next tasting was at Pike Place Chowder. This is known to be the best chowder in the United States, and friends, it is also considered the most iconic restaurant in the state of Washington.
Well, truth be told, I think we have to agree, this was absolutely wonderful chowder. In fact, we're going to be returning here with our friends when we come back to Seattle on our Pacific Coast cruise. This was one of the spots we scoped out and said, we've got to bring them to try this chowder. Now that's going to come in a couple videos after our Ultimate World Cruise reunion video and our adventure in Alaska on that. So about 3 weeks from now, you'll be able to see us do that.
Look at all the clams.
This chowder had a ton of clams, and it was just thick and full of cream and butter. I'm sure it had a ton of calories,
It was
too.
a splurge.
But while we were there, we also tried the smoked salmon spread, and it was good, although we just had some smoked salmon spread that you can go back and see when we went through the tunnel of trees and we stopped at Legs Inn in Michigan. I don't know, I'm kind of thinking Legs Inn was a little bit better than this one, but this was still really good.
Yeah, that Lake Michigan whitefish smoked salmon, or smoked dip was amazing, wasn't it?
Next we stopped at Lands of Origin, where we had an Ethiopian meat pie, or here in Michigan we would call it a pasty. It's very similar to that, but it was good, but doggone it, it had cinnamon with the meat. That's a no-go for me.
Well, we know that with you. No meat with you, no cinnamon with your meat. But I have to admit, I really liked it. I thought it was spiced well. It had turmeric, and I thought it was really well done. In fact, one of the best pasties I'd probably ever had. Sorry about the cinnamon.
It's an Ethiopian meat pie, not a pasty. Now, no trip is complete until you've seen some fish thrown at the Pike Place Fish Market.
Two Bronzino with them. Sweet, so there's no real wrong way to do it.
Now we're getting our dessert. Our first bites are from Chukar Cherries. It's a very famous chocolate-covered cherry and candy shop. So we tried all kinds of different chocolate-covered cherries and nuts. They were all really good. Now, this is coming from some people here from Michigan, where we have Traverse City cherries, kind of a competitor to the Washington cherries. But we have to admit, they were very, very good.
Now, as we're walking to our next treat, we noted that if you come early, come as early as you can, because it's quiet and calm then, and very shortly after that, it gets busy and very crowded later in the day. However, do take note that once it hits about 5 p.m., everything closes. So make it that nice balance that you don't come too late either. Now our final stop is at Indie Chocolate. Indie Chocolate's owned by an artesian chocolatier that personally sources all of her chocolate, and we tried her chocolate chip cookie. It was amazing, so decadent, and probably the best chocolate chip cookie we've ever had.
Yeah, I love that she had the chocolate nibs on the top that were crunchy and full of that bitter chocolate. Oh my gosh, I agree, and it had salt on the top. It really was probably the best chocolate chip cookie that I ever had.
Well, that food tour, like many of the food tours we have been on, was really good. You can learn so much about a community, about an area, just through their food. And usually the guide will give you a lot of history of the area as well. And he did on this trip, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. We got quite a number of stops that we had.
9 stops, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of tastings. So
Yeah.
good.
It was by Eat Seattle. You can book it multiple different ways. It's always best if you can book direct. But overall, how did you like the Pike Public Market?
It's a lot of fun, and I actually want to come back and spend more time here.
Yeah, so our cruise, our Pacific cruise is going to stop in Seattle. So we're thinking maybe this will be what we do, is just grab an Uber from the ship, come here and just spend the day wandering this. You can spend a lot of time walking through this market, everywhere from restaurants to fish to flowers to, I mean, just seeing everything.
Yeah, local handmade crafts and goods here. So yeah, it's neat, and just so many little hole-in-the-wall type places, like the map store that we found earlier. Just cool places to stop and visit.
So the Pike Public Market, without question, is certainly a don't miss on any trip to Seattle.
I agree. Okay, well, you know, I've been teaching myself to watercolor. There is a big art supply store here in Seattle called Blick Art Supply. I've heard a lot of good things about it. We don't have one in Grand Rapids, so I'm really looking forward to going into it. I did see on social media they were having a big fall sale, so we're hitting it at the right time.
So it's in the Capitol Hill area of Seattle, and it's about a 12-minute ride from down toward the waterfront on the bus.
Now, as we approach Blick's, you're going to notice a statue of Jimi Hendrix playing guitar out front. Why is it there? Well, it's because he was born in Seattle, and a local business owner just put it up as a tribute to him.
Jimi Hendrix statue in front of your art materials store. Okay.
Fall sale! This is so cool.
Well, we're going to pause here and interject one last time. This is where we really ran into a fairly major issue here in Seattle that we wanted to tell you about. While Nancy went to shop at her paradise there in all her watercolors, I stayed outside and was just going to go for a walk. There was a community college across the street, and so I thought, oh, there's a park there. I'll just walk over and, you know, sit down and wait for Nancy so she can shop to her heart's content. However, once I crossed the street, I noticed that there was actually a homeless encampment in the park. And so I stayed, you know, veered away from that. There was a little place outside the college to sit down. I just thought, okay, I'll sit here. Almost immediately, about 5 to 10 individuals kind of came up and, I hate to say surrounded me, but basically sat down right next to me and immediately began both using and selling, you know, drugs, and just, it got very uncomfortable is what I'll say. This is really something you're going to see at different parts of Seattle, especially when you get outside the major tourist areas. The reason we're telling you this is we want to simply prepare you for it. Now, at no point did I feel I was in danger, but, you know, I got up, left the situation, just walked around the block, and then came, you know, back to get Nancy. But just be aware, if you're in Seattle, or frankly any major city, you know, large cities, this is the kind of thing that you can run into. I would think maybe I noticed it a little bit more in Seattle, including like 3rd Avenue where our hotel was. Absolutely loved the Arctic Club Hotel, would recommend it 100%. But even some locals told us, yeah, don't walk 3rd Avenue. It's where all the buses run up and down, and that has kind of become the central avenue for homelessness and drug use. So, you know, you want to avoid that if you're walking back from Pike's Market. Maybe take the waterfront, or take 1st Avenue or 2nd Avenue, you know, on there, not 3rd Avenue. So we just wanted to give you a little heads up on this, something to prepare you for if you see Seattle.
Right. It did not detract from our enjoyment of Seattle. I mean, and as you all know, we have been around the world. And so, yeah, unfortunately, we've seen this problem literally around the world. Mm-hmm. But if you see it and run into it, I hope it doesn't spoil your enjoyment of some of these amazing cities, because Seattle really is an incredible city with so much to see and do, and so much goodness there too. Okay, now that we've got the RV, one of our bucket list goals is to visit all the national parks. Although we're not in our RV now here in Seattle, we came here on Amtrak and we're getting ready to get on a cruise. There is the smallest national park here in Seattle, the Klondike National Park. So we're going to visit it.
Well, let's go take a look. After you.
Okay.
So this is not the smallest, it's the smallest
Historical
site, but not the smallest park. It's the 5th smallest park. And you can see on this list here that we can throw up here, the actual smallest one. And so the reason this is so important was this was the gateway to the Klondike Gold Rush. And everyone would buy all their supplies to go up to Canada. I thought this was a very appropriate statement here. It says here, "Do not worry about any danger, for there is no more here than in Detroit." I think that's true about Seattle and Detroit, wouldn't you say, Nancy?
I would say so. So this spinner tells you your odds of actually striking it rich for finding gold. Like, this is sorry you didn't find any. This is good job you found some, and this is wow you struck it rich. So probably about 1%. We'll see if I
Actually, I'd say that's probably 0.3%,
It might
360
be.
degrees, and maybe you could have spun it a little harder.
Spinning the big wheel on Price is Right.
Okay, slow down, slow
Slow
down.
down, slow down, slow down. Slow down.
Come on, okay, one more
go
time
around,
around.
go around, go
One more
around.
time around.
Come on, go, 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 go.
Oh, I didn't
Sorry.
find any gold.
You married me. I didn't strike it rich.
So this is pretty interesting. 100,000 people embarked for the Klondike. 40,000 reached it. 20,000 worked claims or prospected. 300 people made more than 15,000 in gold.
Which is the equivalent of
$330
$250,000 today.
Yeah. Only 300 people out of 100,000. Wow.
And only 50 of those kept their wealth for any length of time. Okay.
Okay, first stamp in our passport book, the Klondike National Gold Rush
National Historical Park.
National Historical Park. You ready? September 5th. Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're starting our journey.
That's right. We're gonna hit them all.
There you go.
So this is our passport book. It has every national park
As of today.
As of today in it. So yeah, we got our first stamp done.
Yeah. Well, the national park, what was it? National
Smallest national historical park in the United States. And,
and the fifth smallest national park.
But you know, honestly, it was well done. There's a theater inside that talked a lot about the gold rush, and it was interesting. It was cute to see. We got our passport book, and so we stamped it for this park. So that's one of our goals, is to kind of visit many, many, many national parks while we have Gracie the RV.
Yeah. So I enjoyed that. Well, after we left the national park, we took the bus. I think we've mastered the public transportation system here. Yeah. And we went ahead and went down. So we're on the street here, so you might hear some background noise. We went ahead and went down to Radiator Whiskey, which is a very famous whiskey bar here, and had their happy hour. I tried some Blanton's, you can see here. So this is their Blanton's Gold barrel pick right here. This is an actual barrel of the Blanton's Gold. Really, Blanton's Gold is actually very hard to get, but it's 101 proof. So let's give it a shot.
What exactly does barrel pick mean?
It means they actually went to Buffalo Trace and they sampled different barrels that were pulled off to say, okay, this one's ready, right? Blanton's is a single barrel product. So when you get a bottle of Blanton's, it's come out of one barrel. It's not blended, right? But they taste every one of those barrels to make sure it tastes like Blanton's. Okay. Then they send somebody to Buffalo Trace there in Frankfort, Kentucky, and they try those different ones and they pick a barrel and they say, okay, that's it. And they buy the whole barrel. But this is their barrel. So you can only get this barrel from this restaurant. Yeah. Okay, let me
do the Kentucky Chew.
woody, mild, not super oaky, easy finish. Yeah, it's pretty good. Now, do I think that it's worth chasing down, or the $45 it is for a glass of it? To be honest, I think there's better ones out there for that price. But it's kind of a free because I'll probably never own a bottle of Blanton's Gold. So, it's a splurge and it's a heavy pour. I think it's a 1.5 ounce pour. So it's good, but I actually think my regular Blanton's that I have at home is better.
I had a really good cocktail. I took a picture of all of the ingredients, so I will twist your arm into trying to make it for me at home.
Well, Nancy, what are you having? What is that?
Okay, it's called an Angel Wings Social Distortion. It's a coconut, it's just one of their fancy cocktails. Walnut liqueur, dry curacao, root beer bitters. It should be really good.
Well, try it. Let me know how it is.
All right, let's taste it.
Well, here, cheers.
Cheers.
Sorry.
Oh, that's good. That's actually really good. You should try this because I might have you making it at home for me.
We'll make sure we have a good picture.
I can taste the bourbon, but I can taste the walnut bitters that are in here.
Well, it has root beer bitters.
I also had walnut liqueur.
Yeah.
Curacao. This has a really good flavor.
Yeah.
It's expensive as fuck. It better be good.
So what'd you think of Radiator Whiskey?
It was good. I had the pulled pork sandwich with coleslaw on it, and the barbecue sauce was good. I thought that the smoked flavor of the pulled pork was good. I was very happy with my sandwich. How'd you like your wings?
They were great. Yeah, smoked wings. They were really good.
You had an interesting sauce with them. They had a dill sauce.
Yeah, instead of a buffalo or ranch or
it was
something.
good.
Yeah. Well, this ends our third day here in Seattle. We're going to go ahead and walk back to our hotel. We got to get up about 5:45 in the morning and catch our train to go to Vancouver, and then get ready to get on our Alaskan cruise adventure. So
this has been a nice trip, the Amtrak trip, the time in Seattle, but I cannot wait to get on the cruise.
yeah. So overall, what'd you think of Seattle?
You know what? I was actually pretty impressed with it. I didn't know what to expect. I had never even been in the state of Washington. But I was pleased with Seattle.
Yeah, I had been here dozens of times on business, never really toured it. And to be honest, I think I might have mentioned this earlier in the video. I was kind of like, yeah, okay, well, hun, we'll go to Seattle. I loved it. I really had a good time. I don't know if it's a place I'd come back to multiple times. The food was good. The attractions were good. I mean, you've seen everything we've done. It was really expensive. Yeah, real expensive. You know, the homelessness, drug use, all that is very prevalent. So you gotta, like a lot of big cities, you gotta kind of overlook that. So that's a little bit. We love the Pike Market, just, you know, the Chihuly Museum, the Space Needle, I mean, everything, the food.
What was your favorite thing in Seattle?
Probably the evening we spent in the Space Needle. Yeah, sitting there having a cocktail with the glass floor and seeing the sunset. I really enjoyed that. What about you?
I love the Chihuly Museum. I just was just fascinated with that. So that was very cool.
Yeah. So really overall, yes, it's a big city with big city problems, but if you can get past that, there's certainly a lot to see here in Seattle, and I think you'd enjoy a visit to this. Well, onward to Alaska. We'll see you on our next adventure.
And I hope we see many of you on the cruise. Take care.
Bye-bye now.